Hey, this is Brian Hegney, instructor of Game and Interactive Media Design. The next thing we need to do is unwrap the low poly barrel. And we're going to unwrap the low poly barrel because we actually need any engine to understand where to place different parts of the map onto the barrel itself. So for instance, let me go back into this material. Let me set this back to the way it should be. There we go. Come on, come on. Okay, if I open up this barrel, this is the low poly barrel that we'll be placing into 3D Studio Max. Well, how does it know where to put the image of this rivet? How does it know to put it there? And so if you look at the UVs, I'm going to say UV channel 1 or channel 0, this shows you how this is unwrapped. It's almost like it's got a top, it's got a bottom, and it's got all of the sides split down the middle, unwrapped in a flat surface. And so when we have an image, this image, that's how it knows to take this stuff here and place it on this part of the barrel. Okay, so how do we unwrap something? That's what we're going to do now in 3D Studio Max. We are going to turn off the high poly barrel. We only need to unwrap the low poly barrel because we're going to use the high poly barrel for all of the details. So let's get started. We are going to use a tool called Unwrap UVW. Now, Unwrap UVW, it is a fairly complicated unwrapping machine. If you twirl out or stretch out your command panel, you can click on Open UV Editor. And this is a part of the unwrapping. This is a lot to throw at you, but essentially all of the polygons in here that you can click on your barrel represent a 3D space here. And we basically need to make this stuff look like something like that, right? If we were to go into 3D Studio Max, so for instance, we could actually select every single one of these polygons, and we could just say, you know what, unfold mapping, and say okay, and it could like unfold all of these in a weird way. That's not really helpful though, because if we were going to go into Photoshop, it'd be really hard to really make a really good image like this. And also we've got all these seams here. Anytime there's a seam, there's gonna be like an ugly alignment. So, okay, we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna hit Command Z, Command Z. What I will do is in my UV editor, select every single UV and move it up here. Let me click on move. Let's just move this over here. And what we're gonna wanna do is just put this away by minimizing this. I think the first thing I want to do is unwrap the top and the bottom. That'll give us a good head start. So what we're going to do is go into polygon selection mode in your Unwrap UVW. It should be set to polygon. And let's go ahead and click, hold down Control, and click all of the top polygons. Yay. We are going to planar projection unwrap this. So just click on that little plane, and if you open up your Edit UVW Open UV Editor, like mine was minimized, so I just clicked it here. Woo, that's too big. We can see that we've unwrapped this. Yay! It's turned into a circle. Now, to move this around, you'll notice you can't move this in here. You have to accept that projection by clicking the planar map again. And now we can move this around, and we can even scale this if we want. But let's put it really big. Let's see what that actually does by seeing both of these at the same time. So I want to see my little map here and in my scene, and there's a little drop down panel on the top right, and we could select texture checker UV checker. Now if it's already selected to that, we just need to click it again, and we can see how the barrel is mapped. Okay, so you can see on the bottom it's totally not mapped right, and if I were to select this piece, and look for it in here, you'll notice it's flattened, like in a bad way. So that's why we need to actually unwrap everything. And the annoying thing is, well, let's select this. We'll select all of these. Notice we can rotate in our edit UV. Oops, why aren't you rotating? I'm not sure why you're not rotating. There we go. See, when I rotate this, it changes the mapping. Okay, let's just set this like that for now. And these rotations is actually related to the rotation snap. So if I have snap disabled, this is going to be snap disabled. If I have this snap set to 1 degree, yay, and enable that, this will be set to 1 degree. Okay, good. Okay, that's step 1. I'm going to go ahead and select this. We can scale this as often as we like. And you'll notice when you make it really small, that means your image is going to be larger on the actual object. Okay, let's just move this over here. And okay, the next thing I want to do is select the bottom side. Control, 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 click. Control, click, Control, click. Control, click, Control, click. And Control, click. Click planar projection. You see it builds it there. And we also want to make sure it's not backwards. So we do that by clicking on this mirror function. You could either mirror it left and right or up and down. Click it once, it sets it properly. Uncheck this planar map and you can now rotate this if you want. Oops, select off of it, now select it all. Go into cross selection mode, also works in the edit UVW window. Rotate it. Scale it, move it, yeah, there we go. The next bits that we have, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. We want to select all of the outside here. So I'm going to go into front mode, and I can just select in, again, it's just faces. I'm going to select all of these. I'm in crossing mode. So it selected all of those, but here's the kicker. In Edit UVW, it doesn't default to select back faces like it does in normal Edit Polygon mode. So I'm going to go back to front view. And this time I'm going to disable ignore back facing. This can be helpful if you don't want to select the back face, but I actually want the back faces. So I'm going to disable select by this big cube here, ignore back facing. So now I can just make another selection. Select only those. And then I am going to click on cylindrical projection mapping. And I am going to check fit. Center, okay, that's good. And notice if I check on checker pattern, oh no, I'm going to accept that. And now I'm going to move this and maybe scale it a little bit, move it again. And tap F3, there we go. And that should look pretty good. Like if these are distorted, we'll need to kind of, actually, you know what? These should be squares. So what we need to do is select all of these and scale this slightly differently. So if I want to select all of the objects in this island, what I'm going to want to do is select this button, select by element UV toggle. What that means is now when I select a face, it selects every single face within this island. Now because the image has squares, we want to make sure that these are squares on our object. Otherwise, it will be distorted. So let's go ahead and hold this scale button down in our edit UVs and only click on the one that goes left and right. And we are going to scale this wider, and that will turn those rectangular components to squares. Once they become really square, we'll be able to accept that. Good. Now we will set this to scale uniform, and we can scale this a little bit lower so it actually fits in this box. There we go. Okay. And now this looks a lot more square-like, okay? The next thing we want to do, we have more components though. What do we have? We have these components to worry about. Let's go ahead and the way that I'm going to want to do this is maybe planar projection mode. And I'm going to do planar projection mode so that I can actually move them out of the way here. And now I can select one of them and to show you that I have two. Okay. And why would I want to do that? Because I hope this works. I hope this works a lot. I want to select one of them and click on now cylindrical mapping, and it unwrapped it cylindrically. You know what I want to do? Command Z. Nope. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it cylindrically mapped because I do want to accept that. I'll accept that and bring this down. And I'm going to try to figure out, okay, where is this? Okay, these are actually... I'm going to stop the video for right now and figure out the easiest way to describe for you all what's going on. Okay, bye!